Hello and welcome to the Spark Accounting Solutions Facebook Live show. My name is Jennifer Quinn. I go by Jenny Q, and I am hosting a whole huge wealth of information today as we hear from Julie Babcock-Hyde, who is the founder and president of Spark Accounting Solutions. She is a CPA, CFM, like a whole long list of designations, in addition to being a profit first professional. And so I'm going to bring her on right now. Julie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you as well. I'm really excited to hear what we're going to talk about today. I really look forward to these shows that we do because I learned so much. The topic today is 5 common profitability myths. And anyone who's in business really needs to hear this, right?
Absolutely. There's a lot of myths about making money that people buy into. And one of my friends calls things like this a myth conception. And I just love that. And so we're going to talk about some of these myth conceptions about profitability today.
I love that. That is a great word. We should trademark that, a myth conception, except for it's hers. But otherwise, we should totally do it. Okay, so let's jump into the first one. The first one is you must increase sales to increase profitability. This seems kind of obvious, but what do you mean by this?
So that is, believe it or not, it's actually a myth. Most people believe the only way I can make more money is if I generate more revenue. When I'm talking about profit, I'm talking about the bottom line, what goes into your pocket at the end of the day or what's left over in your business. And obviously, if you have 0 sales, you're going to need more sales to increase your profits. But a lot of things you can do to reduce expenses, make sure you're operating efficiently, and really be able to maximize your profits that way. If you're not running your business efficiently and you start growing and scaling your business, all you're doing is you're growing and scaling an inefficient business, which is not going to be very profitable. So when you're first starting out or when you're looking at scaling and growing, really look at your processes, make sure you are really efficient, everything's working smoothly, and then start growing sales because then your profit is going to get even bigger. And that's the result you're probably looking for with growth.
Yeah, definitely. That makes so much sense. But it really, like, that one even got me. I really thought, yeah, well, of course you've got to increase sales to increase profitability. But no, you're like, no, that's a myth.
It is. And a lot of people fall into that because that is our go-to response as small business owners. When we don't have enough money, we are going to go sell stuff, right? That is the entrepreneur's go-to. Ooh, sure. Money's tight. Let's go sell stuff. But sometimes you have to look at how do we operate more efficiently? What's the best use of my resources? Am I wasting money? Am I just, are there opportunities to make things run smoother so I can use the resources I have and just generate more profit off of that as opposed to chasing new clients?
Okay, that makes sense. Before we hop into number 2, I just want to give a shout out to, so we've got some live viewers. If you have a question, go ahead and post it in the comments because we will definitely try to get to those. And also, if you just want to shout out, if you want us to say hi to you, leave a comment, tell us where you're watching from or something like that, because we can't see who's watching unless you leave a comment. So go ahead and do that. And also, if you think that your friends would find value in this, please go ahead and share this out so they can join us in the live conversation and get their questions answered as well. Okay, so Julie, let's hop into number 2. This is a myth now. This is a myth. I'm not going to agree with it because it's a myth. You got me on the first one. You must decrease cost of sales to increase your profit margins. That is a myth. Tell us why.
Well, I'm going to use some real life examples for this, okay? But before we dig into it, I want to really talk about what some of these words mean because that's all technical accounting language, right? And a lot of people don't know when I say cost of sales and when I say profit margins, what those mean. So let's take an example. Let's say that you sell a widget for $10. It costs you $4 to manufacture the widget, which means your cost of goods sold is $4 and your profit margin then is going to be $6. So for every $10 of sales, you're going to get $6 of gross profit or profit margin out of it. Okay. So most people, obviously, if you do the math, 10 minus 4 is cost of goods sold, 6 is our profit. If we make that 4 smaller, it's going to make our profit bigger, right?
Theoretically.
But what's the problem with that? I'm going to use a real life example from a lunch that you and I went to. A few months ago, we had a business lunch, right?
Uh-huh.
And you chose to go to the counter to get a burger. Now, why did you pick the counter?
Because of the quality of the ingredients in the food.
Exactly. Okay. So if the counter were to decide to use cheaper meat, would you still be willing to pay the same amount for one of their burgers?
Not only would I not be willing to pay the same amount, I wouldn't even go.
Right. And so this is a problem that people get trapped into is they think in order to increase my profit margins, I need to cut my costs. But what can happen is that can turn around on you, actually. If your customers are coming for a certain perceived value, and instead of providing them that value, you provide them something cheaper, they may well expect a lower price. They may stop coming. So it's important when you're looking at how do I improve my margins that you don't pick something that is the value proposition that you're offering to your client. So
this is good stuff because this is good. It's almost like you do this for a living or something.
Well, and you can do it with your services too, right? If you're in like in my industry, a lot of times, as accountants, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to work with the partners, or I want to work with, the top people at the firm. And so we have to work on how we structure things so that when people are, people are expecting me and they get somebody else, that we make sure that we still deliver that value to them. So they're willing to pay the price that we need to get to make money off of it. And it's the same thing, whether you're in a service business or whether you're in a manufacturing or retail business, you want to make sure that you can increase your margin without hurting your potential sales price.
Very nice. Very nice. We've got some comments here and I want to share those really quickly. So Paula Lensker is here. She said, hi, ladies. I'm tuning in from my home office today. Awesome. Welcome, Paula. And then Colleen De La Rosa says, hey, Julie, love the widgets. Listening at the gym. You got to love that multitasking.
That's good. That's really good. Way to be healthy.
Cool. Okay. So we're covering the 5 common profitability myths. And my name is Jennifer Quinn. I am on with Julie Babcock-Hyde, who is the founder and president of Spark Accounting Solutions. And we've covered the two of the myths, one being you must increase sales to increase profitability, 2 being you must decrease cost of sales to increase your profit margins. And number 3, let's go to number 3. The best place to focus on growth for your business is on attracting new customers. This is another myth, so don't think that it's a good idea. And Julie's going to tell us why.
Exactly. So going back to that whole idea of what us small business owners and entrepreneurs like to do, when we need more money, we start clamoring for sales. And one of our favorite types of sales to clamor for is brand new customers, right?
Right.
Everybody loves a shiny new customer. However, they are some of the most expensive customers to get. They don't know you. They don't trust you. They don't like you already. And so when you're going out and trying to attract these people, it's much more expensive. So if you are really focused on increasing your profitability, one of the first places that you may want to look at is increasing revenue with your own customers. It's going to cost less in advertising and marketing. It's going to cost less to convert them because they already know you. And you probably already know or have a pretty good idea of what their needs are and whether you can meet them or not. So that is a very, very good place to start looking for increased revenue and increased profitability.
And how do you do that? What do you do?
Well, we talked, was it 2 months ago, 1 month ago, about 5 ways to get more revenue from existing clients. So there's there's a lot of things you can do, but my favorite is to really go down that list and identify, here's the services I provide. Here's the clients that are getting those services. Here's the clients that are not getting those services. Where do I have a gap that I can fill for these clients? And then pick up the phone and talk to them about, hey, where are you getting your payroll done right now? Where are you getting your widgets from? I'll bring widgets back into this again. But it's really important to look to those clients first and figure out how you can better serve them and get additional revenue from them without having to go meet brand new people.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. Okay. So we are on our 5 common profitability myths. Obviously, these aren't all of them, but we're narrowing it down to 5. Before we jump into number 4, Colleen De La Rosa says, good idea, retain and get referrals.
That is a great way to, referrals are a very low cost way to get new customers. Those are brand new people. And so if you can ask people that already know, trust, and like you to recommend you to their friends or business colleagues, that is a great way to get new customers without that huge spend of feeling like you have to, take out a TV ad or whatever it is that you feel like, oh, I need to spend all these marketing dollars to get people when there's maybe cheaper ways to do it.
Perfect. I love it. Okay. Shall we go to number 4?
Let's go ahead to number 4.
Okay. So here's another myth, you guys. When you need more profits, you should never turn down work. Ooh. That's a good one.
This is really hard for people, right? If you are struggling for money and somebody comes and wants you to do a job, your first response is always to say yes, right?
Right.
And so what happens a lot of times is you say yes to a whole lot of things that maybe are not exactly in your wheelhouse. Or have you ever gotten the feeling from a client, and we'll all say no that we haven't, but we all know that it's happened. Have you ever gotten the feel, oh, this client's going to be kind of high maintenance?
Yes.
They're going to be kind of a pain. And how many times does that little premonition end up being true?
Every time.
And so when you get that premonition, you end up not making as much money as you had planned on making from that client. You end up making a lot less because you have to spend extra hours. Maybe your team is spending extra hours. Maybe you do the whole project for them and they come back and say, I don't really like that. Can you redo it? And so when you get those gut feelings about, hey, this person's going to be high maintenance, this one's going to be kind of a pain, listen to that, because what you don't want to end up doing is taking on a whole bunch of clients that are not going to be very profitable for you and ending up with a disaster. And sure, yeah, you have some extra cash flow coming in, but you've also taken your time up and you can't open the door to the next great opportunity that's going to come to you.
Right. And I want to just throw this in, and this might just be the way that I work. I don't know. But not only your time, but your energy. Your energy, it's a different metric, right? But when your energy is tapped by working with a high maintenance client, you just aren't as present and as available for your other clients and for your other endeavors.
Exactly. That is so very true. And when you find that you are spending your time and energy complaining about a client more than serving them, something is skewed, and you really want to look at that. So one of the things I encourage people to do when they're thinking about this whole, who are the clients that I serve best? How do I maximize profit by serving those clients? I encourage people, and this is something that you'll see in a lot of books, is figuring out who your A clients are. Who are your best clients? Who are the people that you like to work with the most? And how can you clone those? How can you duplicate those? How can you get more of those so that you can have more clients you enjoy working with and more clients that you are profitable working with as well?
Yeah, this is great stuff. This is great. If you've just joined us, what we're doing, we're talking about the 5 common profitability myths. My name is Jennifer Quinn, and I am here with Julie Babcock Hyde. She is the president and founder of Spark Accounting Solutions. And Julie, really quickly, tell us what you do at Spark Accounting Solutions before we get on to number 5.
Okay, perfect. We work with small businesses who want to not to go beyond just having their numbers. They want to actually improve their profitability and have a true tried and true system that they can work within to do that. And so we do that by helping small businesses implement Profit First and figure out how to improve their profitability starting with their next deposit.
Well, and here's the thing, being a profit first professional is kind of an exclusive thing. I can't remember what you told me, but there aren't very many in the country.
No, I think we're less than 300 around the world, actually.
Wow. Okay.
The current count, yeah.
Now, I'm just getting all curious here. Do you work only with local clients, or are you able to work with people anywhere in the country?
No, we have clients everywhere from California to Maine to Florida. So we have got people all over the country and are happy to help people work wherever they're at.
Awesome. Colleen just said she loves the client A. Perfect. Yes. Of course. How's your workout going, Colleen? I'm so impressed. I do the same thing. When I go to the gym, I find something, that's going to also be edifying. Either that or I listen to music. But, I love to multitask like that and feed my brain while I'm working my body. Anyway, good job, Colleen. Okay, so let's do a quick review on the 5 common profitability myths. The first one is, this is a myth, you guys. Don't fall for it because it makes sense, because it's wrong, like I did. You must increase sales to increase profitability. The second one is you must decrease cost of sales to increase your profit margins. The third one is the best place to focus on growth for your business is on attracting new customers. That's a myth, y'all. Let's see. Number 4 is when you need more profits, you should never turn down work. Again, a myth. Before we get to number 5, I want to show Paula's comment here. If you fill your practice with people you like working with, you will have an enjoyable practice.
Very true. Who doesn't want to get up in the morning and say, I love all my clients, I love all my customers, and I want to work with them today?
I want to.
Exactly. Yeah. If we can all have those A clients and figure out how to duplicate them and attract them, that makes life a lot more fun.
Totally. Thanks for that comment, Paula. That's awesome. Okay, so let's get into the 5th myth. Say that 10 times real fast. I bet you can. 5th myth. Okay, so let's look at this. Profit is whatever is left over at the end of the month. You're saying, no, that is not what profit is. Tell us what you mean.
So that is a really, really common belief system, and our own accounting system teaches us that. If you look at your profit and loss statement, it takes sales minus expenses equals profit. And, you run that at the end of the month to find out if you had any profit or not, right? However, that does not have to hold true. If we treat profit as a leftover, it's not going to be something that we focus on. Nobody focuses on leftovers. Nobody says, I wonder what I'm going to have left over on my plate after I get done eating dinner. Nobody focuses on that. Usually, if we have a plate of food, we eat it all up, right? So we don't focus on leftovers. So what I encourage people to do, and this is part of the Profit First system, is we need to plan for profit from the beginning. We have the ability to make profitability a habit built into our systems, built into our money management systems, so that we are actually increasing our profit every time we get a sale. We know that we're going to set aside, maybe it's 1%, maybe it's 3%, maybe it is 5%, whatever that percentage is that you target for your profitability, you can set that aside and guarantee that you're going to have it. It works for us with our 401k plans. It works for us with other savings plans where we just automatically have money going into our savings accounts. And there's no reason that we cannot guarantee our profitability for our business as well if we will just develop the profitability habit.
I love that. And that's what you teach people, right?
Absolutely. That is one of the most important aspects of the profit first system, which is basically you need to give your money a job. You need to know what it's going to. Is it going to profit? Is it going to taxes? Is it going to owner's pay? Or is it operating expenses? And we want to know where each dollar is going so that we can use it the way we intended it to. If we expect to have 5% profit, there's no reason we can't have that, but we have to reverse engineer all the other pieces so that we have 5% profit. And then what's left over now is our operating expenses, and we tweak our operating expenses so that we can meet our profitability goals.
This is good. This is good. I want to share this comment from Paula. She said, fifth myth, fifth myth, fifth myth. It's hard to type too. If you aren't in business to make a profit, you won't be in business long.
It's true. And the sad piece of it is, depending on whose studies you look at, 60 to 80% of small businesses are break even for cash flow or worse. Or worse. And so we have a lot of small businesses that are running business, but they have no cushion. So if something happens, they have no cash flow cushion. They have no money set aside for, the rainy day, because the rainy day happens. It happens all the time. And so we need to plan for these things. We need to have a cushion for our business. And the scary part is that most businesses aren't doing that. And it's simple, small, incremental changes that you can make to start building up that cushion for yourself so that when a rainy day happens, your business is still going to be successful and survive.
Okay, so I've got a question for you. We've done these shows for, I want to say 4 or 5 months. We do a monthly show, and you're clearly knowledgeable. I know you can help people. I know that, you truly know your stuff. But what keeps people from coming to see you? I know what I was hesitant about before I started to work with you. But what do you find is the most common reason that keeps people from saying, okay, Julie, let's sit down and go over my business?
There are a few things that there are a lot of things that people hesitate to work with a professional when it comes to their accounting stuff. I think number one fear of some people is that they just are embarrassed about their numbers and they don't want somebody to see them. Number two is sometimes people are afraid of how much is it going to cost. And so one of the things we always really try to focus on is we want to help you create a plan that is going to improve your profitability enough to more than pay for our services. And so that's something that we focus on. But on the fear side of things, as far as, you almost, there's a few people that get to see you naked, right? Your doctor gets to see you naked and your accountant gets to see you financially naked. And a lot of people don't want to show that. But I assure you, that we have seen it all.
You've had some really interesting analogies, and I love every single one of them.
Well, it's really true. It's a lot of people when they come in are embarrassed about either the amount of debt that they're in for their business or their lack of cash flow. Or I've had people be like, I've been doing this for 10 years and I can't believe this is as good as it gets after 10 years.
Or even what about their accounting method? Like that would be something to be embarrassed about. Like, yeah, So what I want to say, I started working with you, I want to say a long time ago. I want to say 13 or 14 years ago. And I remember sitting down with you the first time and I had all those fears. I was embarrassed. And what I remember was how non-judgmental you were. It was such a safe place and zero judgment. You're just like, and I love what you said. You've seen it all. I remember when I was a teenager and my mom said to me, never be embarrassed when you go to the doctor because they've seen it all. You're not going to surprise them. And that's what you're saying is true for you as well.
It is very true. And I try to remind everybody 60 to 80% of small businesses are break even or worse. So if you're embarrassed about that in your own business, don't be, because you're in good company. We as small business owners, the general perception of small business owners, have you ever asked a small business owner, hey, how's business? And they're like, oh, it really sucks. We lost $20,000 this month. They don't ever say that. They say, things are great. We got a new client last week and They don't say we got a new client last week, but we lost 10. They don't
Right.
say that. It's
Right.
always this. And so people have another, misconception about how everybody else's businesses are doing. But the truth is 60 to 80% are break even or worse. And so that's what we're trying to help people get beyond, have that positive cash flow, and have that cushion so that their business is going to stick around and succeed.
I love it. I love it. I love it. A few more comments before we close here. Paula says, I find as a business coach, a lot of people gloss over when it comes to math or numbers. I see this with clients as well. Avoid talking about money.
Yes.
And then Hillary Howerton says, scary. She says, I have to run into a meeting. Sorry, I'll miss the rest. The good news is there's a replay. You can come back. Exactly. And she also says, I look forward to working with you. So that's awesome. Okay. Very, very good. So Julie, what's the best way for people to get in contact with you if they want more information?
Absolutely. Since they're already on my Facebook page, there's a contact us button and you can send in some information and somebody will reach out to you. You can also give us a call and schedule an appointment if you want to do a free consult.
What? People use the phone still?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? So our office number is 208-890-1126, but you can call, or seriously, you're on my Facebook page, click the contact us button and we will reach out to you and get a free consultation scheduled.
Perfect. Thank you to everybody who tuned in live, and thank you for your comments. And to the replay viewers, thanks for jumping in. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and Julie will make sure to come back and answer those. And with that, we're out. Thanks so much, Julie. Have a great rest of the day.
Hey, thank you.